I don't understand why I'm struggling when I have a full-time job.
Florida is so broke right now, people are literally financing their groceries like a card note.
I'm so over this.
Everything in this country is so much harder than it needs to be for no reason.
Everyone just feels so exhausted right now.
And the worst part about this struggle is that it's starting to feel permanent.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy J2ASMS. Every day feels like survival for a lot of people. People can't put food on the table. People can't put gas in their car. People can't go to school for reasonable wages. Things are just really tough. And just existing feels like a struggle. Almost impossible.
That's rough, buddy.
So what we're gonna be getting into today is reacting to real life people on TikTok who are struggling with a lot of the same things that I was just describing. Smash the subscribe button for your boy and drop a like on the video. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. As I said, guys, please drop me a like and a sub on the video. It really helps and I greatly appreciate it. Love ya. Without further ado, let's get into our first clip.
I am so over this. I'm so over feeling like shit all the time. I'm so over being burned out. I'm over feeling like nothing I do is ever enough. And it's not the people around me, and honestly, it's not me either. I mean, it is a little bit my mindset. I need to fix that, but it's this society that we live in that's like, do more, be more, earn more, spend more. There's like never enough. We're just crashing out because the expectations are too high, and there is no space for us to be human beings.
There's two different ways to look at it. On one hand, it's really amazing that people in this country have the ability to do all of those things, to aspire always to have more, to be more, to grind, and have that life if that's what you choose. That's something we talk about on this channel all the time. Live the life that you aspire to have. If you want to dream big and have, you can have. There's also the structures set in place that will hold you down. It's easy to open a line of credit debt. Anybody can. They send you in the mail begging you to open it because they know people are going to get trapped in a cycle of paying interest, caught in positions where they can't pay the debts that they borrow.
You triggered my trap card!
These companies is dancing in the money, raking in the racks off of the people. Because people just don't have the proper education or practices to not get caught in the web. And these companies is grimy. Any chance they get to run their little spider fingers through you, they're gonna do it. So don't give them that chance. You have to decide what type of mindset you wanna have. This type of mindset to be here, along with that comes certain sacrifices and mindset that you have to be on the elevated level. But if you wanna be on just the normal level, and normal doesn't really even mean that much nowadays because most people are in debt, most people are struggling, most people aren't happy, you know what I mean? Or a step above that, if you wanna just be financially stable, go to your job, do your job, go home, like you can do that as well.
Coming to bed, honey?
Yes, dear.
I just had to drop my daughter off at daycare at 8 weeks old, and I hate it. Everybody just kept saying, she's so little. Like, I know, she is so little. And I still have to go into work. Like, I'm so happy to be back here, and I'm not.
This is a really sad clip. This is a young mom who had to drop her 8 weeks. 8 weeks. That is so insane. The baby just done popped out. Like it just spawned in the earth.
Welcome to the world, Tyrone. What are you going to do when you get home?
I'm going to drive a Hellcat back home, eat KFC, play basketball, and look for the Huzz, you feel me?
Probably doesn't have someone that she could leave the baby with, and she has to go off to work, so she has to bring her just 8 weeks old baby to daycare. And she's getting really emotional about having to leave them. As I always say, guys, I don't really have any type of personal comment to make towards anyone about when they decide to have a baby, who they decide to have a baby with. Like, that is totally everyone's own personal business.
Whose goddamn white baby is that?
This is your baby, okay? He's just light-skinned.
My thing is just to say to people who don't have a baby yet or don't have a family, these are examples of people who, for whatever reason, are in situations where they're unable to take a step away from work or get time off to be with their newborn child. That's just something that you really want to think through. Am I in a place where I'm financially stable and responsible enough to bring another life into the world? And not only just bring the life into the world, but be able to be there and show up in whatever capacity you want. This is a young woman who, you know, seems like she wants to be super involved and be there with her baby during this time, but unfortunately is financially unable to do that. Do all the things that we talk about on this channel all the time to be able to put yourself in the best possible position so that you're able to do whatever you want, whenever you want. Really just get financial freedom, or at the very least some type of financial stability. You know, investing, having an emergency fund, proper savings practices, not overspending on things you don't need.
And not to be political, family, but why is it so hard to survive in this economy? Now, let me tell you, you guys know I was doing plumbing. After I got laid off, I've been trying to get back into plumbing, but it's been hard. Like, I haven't been able to get hired. So I just picked up a regular full-time job, but it's not enough. It's so bad to the point where I'm trying to pick up another job where I can work back to back, basically working like 16, 17 hours a day just to try to survive in this economy. It shouldn't be that way, man, but I was always one that, you just got to do what you got to do, and it's temporary, but that's why I've been trying to get my clothing brand started.
He probably is living above his means. He's not talking about stacking bread to save. He's not talking about having money to go on vacations. He's not talking about having money to pay for a car. If you have to have that much going on to have the basic necessities, which is like simple shelter, food, and, a modest vehicle, then you're most likely living above your means. Obviously, I don't know this guy, so we're not speaking specifically to this guy, but we're using him as an example to kind of the broader macro scale of what's going on in the country and like what a lot of people are dealing with. You can sit down and watch a couple episodes of the Caleb Hammer Show, and that'll tell you where the mindset and the actual reality of what is happening to a lot of people really is.
$1 million, which is what you lost. And where is it?
I bought furniture with that money.
That's f***ing crazy.
A lot of people have ridiculous car notes that they can't afford, that they take out, that's spanning over 7-8 year terms at 13% and up, like ridiculous interest rates on cars. You have people that have really nice apartments that they can't afford, $1,600 to $2,000 for an apartment, and if you're making minimum wage, that's above your means. You should probably get a studio or downsize and get something smaller, and not forever, just until you're able to afford different situations. You downsize, go small, be able to save, pay down the debt if you have it, and then you can go big. But people be trying to go big right off rip. Sometimes you gotta ball under a budget. Like, rock with what you got and build up. Sometimes people have massive amounts of debt. Maybe you went to Ohio State. I don't know why I always pick on Ohio State in these videos, but these eyes are on your side. Maybe you went to Ohio State and you got, $100,000 in student loans that you had, and maybe you could have went to a community college. Like, there's always different ways that people can go about things. Like, the average regular person that is employed, doesn't have any type of extenuating circumstance, and is struggling to survive. There's not many people like that who are not making some of these other mistakes and falling into some of these traps that we talk about on this channel all the time.
You triggered my trap card!
Florida is so broke right now, people are literally financing their groceries like a car note. A new study found that 25% of Floridians are financing their groceries using buy now, pay later. You heard that right, loans. We finance cars, homes. Some people even do it to furniture. Now it's chicken wings, bread, and milk. Honestly, it doesn't surprise me, because when you look at Florida, a huge part of the problem is the elderly. And it's not like grandma can go get a side hustle at Amazon or the grocery store to make up for the money that she misses every month. The elderly don't have that option. It means that they're feeling the squeeze tighter than anybody else. And the squeeze is brutal. People are delaying payment, racking up late fees, filing bankruptcy, or just straight up not paying bills no more. That's not living paycheck to paycheck. That's survival on credit. And just note, it's not just a Florida story or a Texas story. When two of the largest states in the country are collapsing under the weight of necessities, that means it's a sign that it's happening everywhere. So if Florida is drowning while selling sunshine and palm trees, imagine what it looks like in states that don't have the tourism economy to fall back on.
Financing groceries is absolutely diabolical! Diabolical! Absolutely diabolical, bro. If you're in a situation like that, you need to sit down and seriously reevaluate what you got going on, because there's a huge chunk of money that's probably going to something that either you can't afford or that you don't need. The absolute diabolical fact that you can actually finance your groceries or something small as like a one-time food purchase or something like that is just it blows my mind. But I mean, these companies will stop at nothing to suck every last dollar that they possibly can from you.
Give it to me! Give it to me! Give it to me! Give it to me! Just give it!
They'll literally just walk up to you, radiate their negative, evil energy onto you, and it'll just suck the money out of your skin like a freaking Loch Ness creature or something, bro. Like, it's actually diabolical. It's pretty disgusting, really. Now, the elderly are in a very tough situation right now. Who knows where Social Security is going to be in a few years? Everyone my age goes to retire, like our 20s, the Gen Zs. Social Security is probably going to be non-existent. Like,
now he's going to get away with my money.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
You don't want to be in a situation where you're relying on the government to take care of you when you're old and crusty. Invest properly. Take 15% of every check, put that towards some type of investment. This is not professional or official financial advice by any standard, but this is what I personally do, and what I unofficially recommend that you do as well, I would just go onto some type of major platform. I'm not sponsored, but let's just say Fidelity. Open up a Fidelity brokerage account. You're gonna wanna open up a Roth IRA if you're younger, a traditional individual brokerage if you're on the older side. Take that 15% and put that into those accounts every time you get paid. What you're gonna wanna do when you go in there is buy index funds. Index funds are not individual stocks, they're just groupings of individual stocks based on category. For example, there could be a grouping of just tech companies. So like, you know, all the tech companies are grouped into, this isn't official, but let's just say JNXX or whatever. Now what that does is gives you protection, because if one of the companies is not doing well, you're not gonna lose a bunch of money because it can be offset by some of the other companies that are in that grouping. And depending on what type of index fund you get, there could be 10 companies in the index fund, there could be 500 companies. It really just depends. Do your own personal research onto which ones you think are the best for your own personal liking, but that's what I recommend instead of buying individual stocks. You set that on automation, it'll keep stacking and stacking and stacking. 10 years will go by, you'll look in there and the $10,000 that you invested will be $50,000 or $60,000. Or if you go crazy, you know, the $100,000 that you invest, by the time you retire will be close to $1 million. Yeah! That's how investing works. That's the power of compound interest. The people that she's describing that are just struggling to survive when they get older, unfortunately, they don't do any type of investing at all. They're unable to retire because they don't have anything saved. And so either someone in their family has to take care of them, they go into some type of low-income nursing home, or they literally have to just work until they literally can't function as a human being anymore on the Walmart floor because they don't have enough money.
At 82, Navy vet and widower Butch was still putting in 40-hour weeks at the Cumberland, Maryland Walmart.
Buy things that are appreciating assets, which just means that over time, they can make you money passively, rather than depreciating assets like cars that as soon as you drive them off the lot, you lose money. It doesn't matter if you live in Texas, Florida, Timbuktu, you don't want to rely on credit and you don't want to work until you die. Make the right choices.
I'm going into my senior year of college. I'm supposed to graduate in May, right? I'm trying to find a job in my major, trying to figure out if I want to move out right away into like where the city I'm from, or stay where I'm at already, like keep my apartment where I am in school, or do I want to like stay home for a little bit and figure shit out? Like, I don't know, but like I'm seeing so many different like 20-year-olds in different paths that it's so hard also to get like true advice, because like you have friends that are going to the military, but then you also have friends that are not in school at all, and then you have friends that might have tried school but it didn't work for them, so now they've been out for a little bit longer than you, so they're into the workforce, like they have full-time jobs. Like, I'm just trying to figure out like how do I make a true living for myself. Like, my major is psychology and then my minor is public health, so y'all do the math on how many degrees I need to actually start making money. But like how do I make a living for myself, like if it's not a hustle, like nails, hair, you know, stuff like that? Like how? Like, because I'm 21. Do y'all other 20-year-olds understand what I'm saying? 20-something-year-olds understand what I'm saying? Like,
typical hustle stuff, right? Nails, doing hair, playing sports, making music. That's what you're into? All power to you. And I think those things are fire as well. But there are opportunities outside of just those things to make money, like to have a real living. It's possible. The second thing I would say to her is don't get caught in the education trap. The education trap is what I describe as people that are just constantly going to school, getting higher level of degrees, and they just never stop going to school. If you're doing that, thinking that that's gonna always just lead to more money, like more education equals more money, you're sadly mistaken. And you're just gonna end up racking up more and more student debt and come out with an average salary 50 to 60K and not be able to pay back all of that debt that you've accumulated, because the interest, depending on where you took it out from, pray to God that it's not from Sally Mae. The interest rates are gonna be super high. You're just gonna be caught in a trap.
You triggered my trap card!
You don't have to go into a field that's related to your major. I majored in sociology when I was in college, and now I'm in the entertainment industry.
What do you mean by that?
So don't think like just because you're majoring in something that it has to be directly tied to what you end up doing for work. Like, I know people that majored in English and Spanish and are doing stuff in politics. Don't box yourself in ever in terms of what you think is possible for yourself, but also to what you go to school with has to directly tie to your job. They just don't. It would be great, obviously, because, you know, if you go into a work field with certain experience that you already got to start building on when you were in college, that's always a plus, I think. It's not a must.
And I'm an NYU film school graduate, sucker, and the School of Visual Arts, and the Academy of Art University in San Francisco. You suck! You're a no talent! And I've earned my right to say it!
I would also tell her to just stop looking around as much. I think it's a natural thing, especially of this age, you know, my age and younger, to look around and compare yourself to your peers just because people are in so many different places, right? You could have a friend that has a couple kids, a friend that's been in the work field since they were 18. You could have friends that were also like you that are graduating college, and there's just so much going on and so much noise. But I would just tell her to just lock in, focus on herself and what she has going on. When you are constantly on social media or looking around, it's gonna skew your vision and your ideology of yourself to think that you're much further behind than where you actually are and not appreciate your journey as much. So know that anything is possible that she wants to do, and it's not limited to the things that she's seen other people do or what she already knows or what she went to school for.
Having one stream of income in today's economy is not enough. Like, y'all remember when you was able to actually work one job, and that one job paid your bills, paid your car note, paid your insurance, and you will still have a little money left over for you to enjoy for you and your family? Not today. It's like you are broke as soon as you get paid. As a matter of fact, you're broke before you even get paid, because you done already calculated how many bills you have to pay. So as soon as your check hits that bank account, that direct deposit, it goes right to them people.
With technology as prominent as it is and things being as easy to access as they are, I think that's what contributes to people having less money than they do now. Things exist, right, like inflation, but inflation rates are a lot lower than what people describe them to be nowadays. Right now it's right around 3-ish%. But in people's minds, you know, it's like we're having catastrophic end of times level inflation, right? That's just not the case.
No! Run for your lives, everyone! It's the appetizer!
But there certainly are things that exist that make certain things a little bit more difficult nowadays. That's absolutely the truth. However, ease of access to credit and credit cards and the internet, buying things, shopping online, getting Amazon deliveries right to your door with Prime, student loans and interest rates being as absolutely absurd as they are nowadays. I think those things are a lot more responsible with people having less money. Oh my God, cars? Let me not even get into cars. That's a whole nother video. I'll put a card up here for when I make my car debt video, but so I think all of those things are responsible for why nowadays people don't have as much money and times are harder and your whole check is going towards paying off debts and paying bills. I've been doing a lot with my hands this video. I feel like I'm like freaking Egyptian or something. I need to like stop talking with my hands.
Round of applause, baby, make that clap.
I make way less money in real terms than I did 5 years ago, and I'm working way more than I ever did. My pay didn't go up to reflect the changes in cost of living, and I live in a city with one of the highest rates of inflation in the entire country for the past 5 years running. I went and bought groceries today, got 3 things: salt, shaving cream, and a salad kit. These 3 things cost me $10.31. $10 and change used to buy breakfast at the local Cuban restaurant, but not anymore. Speaking of food, I'm basically a vegetarian now. Not by choice, but by economics. I cannot afford to buy meat at the store anymore. I can't afford to go to restaurants. I'm not dropping $100 on a meal for 2. I can't go to the movies. That's way too expensive. I just work, come home, and then try to build something on 2 different side hustles because I'm trying to get out of this. I'm trying to escape this. I can't take it anymore.
Think about where you're buying your food. There are definitely different, cheaper options that you should look into, but I think a lot of people do what they do with gas. They don't really look at the prices and they kind of know they need gas, so they just go into wherever. Is that gonna really change the game and like put a ton more money in your pocket? Not necessarily purchase by purchase, but over time, I think it can definitely save you a lot of money. And it's a nice little hack that I think a lot of people should do. Also, you can hop from stores, right? You can go into a certain place and get comfortable going to stores and be like, oh, it's a lot cheaper for me to get something here. Or maybe you see something on Amazon that's cheaper or at a deal that you can, you know, buy in bulk versus just like going into CVS and grab things, right? I've seen for myself, there's a soap that I really like that I get from Walmart. I don't want to plug Walmart. Sponsor me and then we'll talk. There's a place where I get a soap that I really like. It's $5 at one place. I went in just to see at another place and it was $10. I thought there was a sneeze coming on. It was double the price depending on where I went, and the 2 places aren't even that far away from each other. So purchase by purchase, it can make a huge difference, but it doesn't always. I would also say it's probably time for this guy to move. If his job is not paying or matching even inflation increases as he describes, it might be time for him to either look in a new line of work entirely, like a different industry that maybe is a little bit more in demand, that pays higher wages, or it might be time for him to relocate and go to a different place. If you look at how prices and things are in California right now, the prices are crazy. What you're getting, like in terms of the bang for your buck, isn't even that great in terms of the prices that you're paying. Maybe someone that's over there would benefit from going down south or somewhere else that has a little bit lower cost of living, where you get more land and you know, just look into some different options. And again, the stuff that I'm saying isn't fix-alls and like, it's like, oh, this person's such an idiot because they're not doing this and this and this, and if they just listen to me, they'll fix their whole life. Like, nah, I'm not ever gonna like talk like that, you know what I'm saying? But these are just definitely things that can absolutely help the average person be a little bit better off.
I love my dad to itty bitty pieces. This man is retired. I love him so much, but the generational difference is really a real thing. I'm his oldest daughter. I'm 37 years old. And today I had a conversation with him. Be in mind, he's not just retired. He has his house paid off. He has cars that are paid off and stuff like that. Worked a job that had a pension. Is it really that hard out here? And I was like, Dad, you cannot be joking. Yeah, Dad, I work paycheck to paycheck, and I have to work a second job just to pay for extra groceries so I can make it till next week. I don't see the price difference. I'm like, Dad, literally like less than a month ago and stuff like that with tariffs and stuff like that, I was like, do you understand like how much ground beef is when I'm buying it? And he's like, I just don't feel like the prices have really changed that much.
This is the beauty of compound interest and what making the right choices can do for you for your life. You have two different people, her older gentleman father, and you have this 37-year-old young woman. The difference and why she's not understanding why the dad is not feeling the difference in the prices and why things are so much more expensive in her opinion now is because he absolutely made proper investments. How compound interest works is when you make investments like how I was describing earlier, he's probably at a point now with his nest egg and his investments where he's able to live off the interest alone, where he doesn't even have to touch the principal or the actual balance of the money that he has saved. The amount of money he has in there is just making money by just sitting in there. We talk about the bad end of interest all the time and how credit card companies will bend you over with it, but you can be on the positive side of interest by making investments or having property or any type of asset that you have can make you interest on the money that you have. He hasn't even had to work or anything, and his money is making him more money. So to him, he has no idea what's going on or any of the prices or any difference, and he probably absolutely really hasn't even seen the difference in anything. But on her end, she's saying how she's living paycheck to paycheck, struggling. She probably hasn't put much away, and for her, yeah, things going wrong and not having emergency funds, like she probably is struggling and feeling the strain of the current economy a lot. At 37, if she doesn't start to make some different choices, she's gonna be like the people how we were talking about earlier, where they're working on the Walmart floor at 80 and 90 years old because they literally don't have enough money to stop working. You don't wanna be in that situation. Be like her dad. But if you don't want to be 80 or 90 years old working on the Walmart floor until you die, make sure you smash the subscribe button and drop a like on the video for your boy. Like I said, we're trying to get this channel to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible, guys, and I can't do it without your help. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, so if you could please subscribe and drop a like on the video before you leave, I would greatly appreciate it. YouTube thinks you'll like one of the videos popping up down below, but until next time, J2ASMS, out of here, peace.